Know the gang, know the gang, know the gang. Where my notification gang at? Now, I honestly feel like I've said this a billion times this year, but it's important to have a plan for when you get to the goal line or when you get to the red zone. High passes, or 420 passes I like to call them, the high passes to the back of the end zone are pretty much king this year, and I intend to use them. I'm going to share a little route combination that I've been using recently to when I get to the goal line to score, and I hope that you can use this to get more TDs as well. So stick around so you guys can use this route combination out of the gun type formation, or if you're just in the Arizona Cardinals playbook in general. Let's get it. So you guys probably know I've talked about the gun type before when I was going over stuff in the Carolina Panthers playbook. The play that we're going to take a look at is the zona seams, or we're going to use pretty much every receiver depending on which zone we're looking at. So let's go ahead and select the zona seams. I'm going to show you guys how I use it against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. We're going to start off against cover 2.
Hold on, everybody, get your roll on.
So against cover 2 and cover 3, pretty much the reads are the same and the route adjustments are the same. What we're going to do is we're going to put both of our point receivers, which are Fitzgerald, and our tight end. You probably want guys with good height, good catch in traffic, good jump, good spec catch. So like Alshon Jeffrey and Jimmy Graham, or Larry Fitzgerald himself and somebody like Zach Ertz, who can actually hold on to the ball if they get contact. And you just want to put them on streaks. Triangle Y, select Fitzgerald, push the D-pad up, and then do the same for Gresham. Now with these other receivers, only thing I really adjust is I put Johnson on I'll block my running back. Triangle Y, select your running back, and then press R2 or right trigger, and then I'll put right on the drag. Triangle Y, select right, pull the right stick down, and then I'll motion snap him. The motion snap for this drag is only if the user decides to go back deep and he doesn't have a spy. I'll go ahead and I'll throw it to that drag. So you see here, the high point reads are throwing it to Fitzgerald and the tight end right there. Obviously those are the basic reads. And to throw the high point, or the 420 point, is to hold L1 or left bumper and then press the icon of that receiver. Actually, I forgot to set up the rest of the plays, but you see here, once those streaks get to the back of the end zone, they don't run out of bounds, they don't really turn around, so they don't look like options, but what they do is they stop, and then they're perfect for a high point because it's hard to get in front of them. They have to like man them up or play cover 4 in order to get in those ways. And the same goes for Gresham. Once he gets to the back of the end zone, you throw a high pass, and it's up to him. Obviously, the better tight end that you can get to hold on to these passes, the better chance that you'll have on completing these passes. Let's go on and show you how I use it against cover 3.
And the bass keeps running, running, and running, running, and running, running, and running, running, and running, running.
Now, if you're new to this channel and you find this video useful, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. So, like I said before, the reads in the setup are pretty much the same against cover 3. You're attacking the seams, and it works pretty well against cover 3 if you ask my opinion. Let's make sure we got everything set up. It's the same setup. Now if your opponent is putting out a spy, and like when you want to try to throw that drag, if your opponent goes too high, if he's putting out a spy, it normally comes from the defensive line. So if you're noticing that he's taking someone away from the defensive line to put him in a spy, the next play I would probably run the ball, because that spy won't be as effective against the run. They'll drift back and you'll be able to run like an inside zone. We might have a halfback draw from this formation, which actually works pretty well with the setup like this. So you see here, the seam, both of the seams are pretty much open. I threw a lob pass. You're supposed to throw a high pass, but I didn't throw the right pass right there. But you see that we were still able to get a good attempt at the ball, even though nobody picked it off and nobody actually came to hold the ball. So you see there, it's just, you just throw a high pass or the 420 pass. You make that read. It's pretty easy, and it puts stress on the defense, because unless you really man it up, the user has to guard one of those high points, and you just throw it to the other one. Let's take a look at the more popular red zone defense, to cover 4 drop show 2.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. Yeah, in my bank account. Yeah.
So the cover 4 drop show 2 is pretty popular in the red zone as well, because they have good coverage and good run fits. Most people will shade underneath to put hard flats on those outside linebackers. So here's the setup that I use against cover 4. What I would do is I will fade Fitzgerald, triangle Y, select Fitzgerald, pull the right stick up, and then I will streak Gresham, triangle Y, select Gresham, push the D-pad up. and then you want to motion Kirk over to the right side. Now obviously you don't want to run the same pass play from the same type of set, because it's kind of pretty obvious if you only run this play from this type of look. So you want to mix in the sweep that I believe in this formation. I believe there's a draw in here as well. And then you want to put right on a hitch, triangle Y, select right, and then pull the right stick, or push the right R2, not the right stick, press R2 or the right trigger for a hitch and block your running back. And essentially what it is a high-low read on the user. If he goes high for Kirk, then you throw a pass to right with a low pass. You press a low pass by pressing left trigger or L2, and you throw it to that receiver. And if he goes low, then you throw a high pass to Kirk. Simple as that, or the 420 pass. So let's take a look at the low pass real quick. You see here, you just throw a low pass to him, and since he's in front of that safety, 9 times out of 10 that safety is not going to be able to make that pass. Now let's take a look at the same type of defensive setup. Now this time I'm going to make the user, I'm going to put the user in a position to guard the low pass. So you bring him over here. I'm going to move the user over here just to simulate him guarding that low pass. See if I can get, let's just put him right here just for sakes. So he goes down to guard here. Now you throw a 420 pass to Kirk, and it's up to him to catch the ball. Obviously, the better players you have, the better chance you have of making these types of plays in the red zone. And obviously you want to mix it up. You don't want to run anything too much. In Madden, the golden rules apply. Everything in moderation. You don't want to spam anything too much, because anybody with half a brain, for Madden at least, will be able to stop it. Now there's also a goal line run scheme that I put out not too long ago. If you don't feel too confident or you don't want to try passing on the goal line, you should check that video out. I'll leave a card up in the top right corner so you guys can jump straight to that too. If you don't want to pass on the goal line, I have a nice running scheme that you guys can use from the Cardinals offense. Now if you find this video useful, let me know by hitting that like button. Now this topic isn't over, just because the video is over, this topic of scoring on the goal line is not over. I want to know what's your go-to goal line play call. Is it a toss? Is it a sweep? Is it like a wham? Or do you have some kind of special glitchy passing play in your own playbook that you have stored and you don't want nobody to know about? Let me know in the comment section so we can talk about it, and eventually I can steal your scheme. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys around next time. I'm out.